finding a business partner is probably one of the biggest struggles that I think a lot of people have. I think aligning yourself, and what I've noticed, just because I've been doing it now for...
You're listening to Legacy Through Literacy, where we dissect the philosophy of money one mindset at a time. From uncovering why we settle for our current financial standing to facing the fears that keep us from taking that first crucial step, we tackle the beliefs that are holding you back. Guided by insights from legendary thinkers and today's financial trailblazers, we don't just talk about change, we empower you to own it. This isn't just talk, this is Legacy Through Literacy.
Hi, my name's Eddie, and you are listening to Legacy Through Literacy. I deal with a lot of people that are trying to create a better life. I'm trying to think of the best way to put that because I think there is a thought that when people are, you would assume when they are frustrated and unhappy in their situation, that they would do something to try to create a better version of what it is that they have, right? Like you wouldn't think that a person would consistently deal with a problem that is fixable without trying to fix the problem. Yet we have a lot of people that are stuck, for a better way to put it. But this is like a willful stuck. And we've talked in previous episodes about fear and how it drives our decision making and how it just drives our processes. I think a lot of people don't. With what I'm doing, there's a lot of opportunity. And the group that I work with, we try to bring in people that we feel might benefit from said opportunity. But when you try to talk to them about it, there's a lot of mental hurdles that need to come over. And then on top of that, there's this lack of interest or self-interest or preservation of their own situation, I guess. It really is. It's really an interesting thing to discuss, because you would think that in most networking style positions where you are trying to talk to people about basic concepts of financial security and setting up your children for a better life than you had, which, if you're paying attention, I saw a post, one of the people in our group posted something that talked about the downfall of the middle class. Like things that, if you're paying attention at all, if you pay attention to the market or pay attention to the economy, at least more in the US, but it sounds like it's pretty exclusive all around the world. And I can't really speak to different markets and different places. In the US, one of the biggest factors of the middle class is that it's very difficult for anybody in the working middle class to be able to even buy a home. Now, buying a home is like one of the essential things for kind of the American dream, right? The idea, like when I first bought a home, I think somebody mentioned life insurance to me maybe once. And like, now that I'm in the market, like this is what I'm doing. I see people talk about that all the time. Like you buy a house and then somebody buys a life insurance policy to cover the house in the event that something happens to one of the people or the person that makes the income. And then that way people are not struck with the financial burden of, having to try to make the house payment or whatever. It takes care of everything. And I think a lot of this is lost, because I think, like I said, I was told about it once, but it wasn't something that was kept up especially in my public education. The whole purpose of my Logos financial literacy is about explaining stuff. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he told me that he's like, well, that information's out there. Like, I don't see how people already know this. No, they don't. And the more you talk about it, and it's kind of funny because I think this comes down to like a class situation. I think people that are in the working class or the middle to lower working class, people that get up, that their only response to financial dependency is to get another job. So if you can't find one job, you go get another job, and then you get another job, and then you get another job, and you end up with people that I hear about single mothers working 3 fast food jobs to try to make ends meet and still struggling, which is crazy to me. The whole concept of trying to use our time to create financial security versus using our time to secure finances, which I think those are two different things. Because I was talking with actually my wife yesterday, and we were talking about people's response to financial stress is to find another job or find an extra job. I think what we don't understand is that you don't need to, there's just better ways, there's better avenues. And I feel like if we were expressly told about simple things like life insurance can pay for major medical situations. I don't think a lot of people know that. It's something that I'm learning. It's fairly new relative to life insurance. So it's not, maybe it's not super commonly known. And what's really funny is a lot of this stuff is out there. And we talk about this in our business meetings, which we hold. We try to hold a business meeting every month. And we talk about, and it's all about literacy. They're always about literacy. And one of the things that we talk about is that it feels like this is a secret. Like this information is secret, right? Like nobody wants you to know it. And then you go and once you start investing a little time with it, you start looking into it. A lot of this stuff is out there. And there's a lot of people, there's TikToks, there's Reels, there's Instagrams, there's Facebooks, there's all kinds of people talking about the waterfall effect. And if you look at the waterfall effect, that talks about whole life insurance being used by the robber barons in the 1920s. This is why insurance is the reason during the Great Depression that a lot of these people maintained their wealth and maintained their legacy until now, right? You still have Chase Bank, JP Morgan, like JP Morgan and Chase, like those were big people back then. Read your history. Like a lot of that was based on maintaining their wealth and securing it in a way that is only available through setting it up through life insurance. The whole business portion of this was actually more to discuss like finding partners. I think the finding a business partner is probably one of the biggest struggles that I think a lot of people have. I think aligning yourself, and what I've noticed, just because I've been doing it now for I started back in February, started in like November, but I think February is where I really took a big shift in trying to be more driven and focused on my goals, my dreams, setting up my focus, my legacy. Like legacy is a weird one for me because legacy means to me creating something that is not just security and stability, but creating something that is something that can be left in your heart, left in your soul, and left basically in your general consciousness, that it pervades everybody past you, your kids, your grandkids. And I think we have lost that. A lot of that has gone away, which is why we struggle with what we struggle with. And it's mostly class. Again, I'll go back to class, I think. And I'm not saying it's like something nefarious or malicious. I think what it is it's a cultural thing. We were brought up to think a certain way. And, now that I'm thinking about it, I think you look at like the hustle, right? Like in the 90s, a lot of people that lived in the lower class, you did what you did, try to make money. Like everybody's always making ends, right? Like it was always about what was the hustle? What was the thing that you were going to try to do, try to make some money? And then I think for a while there, I felt like the only way to make legal money was to get a job. Like you had to go in and do your 40 hours a week, or it wasn't legitimate. Like you couldn't just go out there and grind, because most of the stuff that ghetto kids do is usually not stuff that we probably could do as adults. What's funny is you probably could. There's probably legal ways to do almost everything. Anymore, Colorado legalized weeds. There's dispensaries everywhere. It's $1 billion a year market, right? Like all the people that I grew up with that used to be street pharmacists, they had like I don't think any of them are actually in the legal weed business. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't keep up with everybody in high school, but it's it's kind of crazy that maybe it's a hustle and grind thing when you're younger, and then as you get older, security becomes more important, or definitely family, you know. And I think a lot of this just comes to the mindset of the people that are around you. If you want quality people, and I think this is what's crazy to me is like I think everybody has it in them to be the best business partner that that you could ever have, right? Like everybody has it in them to be your confidant, your support, your system. Like everybody has that, but not everybody wants to be that. Not everybody wants to try to create something outside of their control. I think the fear of creating something is almost like the fear of an artist releasing a new piece of artwork, or you know, people that are very self-conscious about their music or self-conscious about a lot that is in a self-expression, right? Like I don't want to bare my soul to you because I'm scared that you'll catch it and destroy it, and this is why I'm not going to persist in this, even though I know that it would probably be a better thing for me to do something like this. It's not in me to try it because of a multitude of factors, all pretty much relating to how you were raised, the people you hang out with. So one of the things when it comes to networking, I think you need to try to meet people. I like the idea of entrepreneurs, people that are self-starters, people that have businesses, because they at least kind of understand the grind a little bit. And I think, surprisingly, don't assume that everybody at a business is a financially secure person. Like they might have money, they might have finances, they might even have a couple of protective blankets that shield them from things. But surprisingly, like everybody that I've talked to, they don't talk to their agents, they don't talk to their people, and that's crazy to me because that's not who we're supposed to be. At least our group has been running the way that we run is the whole idea that we are your community, right? Like one of our cornerstone principles is no family left behind. Like that is the cornerstone of what we're trying to create. And I think to be within a group that is constantly proving this, you know, to try to help people, I think it's an amazing thing. And I don't believe that obviously you can play numbers. I think numbers are always probably a great, there's the law of probability, right? Like you do it enough times, you're going to find people that will stick it out. But man, there's so many people out there that I feel like if we don't hit the ground hard with a lot of this, the middle class is going to just evaporate. And I feel like one of the biggest things that you can do right now, and I'm not a tax person, so definitely go talk to your attorney, but like, or your tax accountant. There's a lot of places too, like in your area, if you just do your taxes, like file your taxes with them at the end of the year, they'll give you free advice all year long. Go find you an accountant that's willing to work with you. Just tell them I found a wonderful person over here. Shout out to Liberty Tax. But yeah, she's been amazing. Like she helped me set up my LLC with the IRS and helped me get my EIN number and helped me get I'm like, holy cow. Like, and I was like, how much I owe you? She's like, oh, don't worry about it. Just come see me when your taxes are due. I'm like, that's amazing. Like, that's so cool. Business partner, right? Like, I think a lot of this, build your network, you know, you gotta, and I think part of me was kind of scared to do all that. You need to connect and you need to go talk to people. You need to just go out and be with your community. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things. Our society is not that type anymore, right? Like we have devolved into this mindscape of the internet is the only way to do anything, and everybody's trying to stay on the internet. And yeah, sure, you reach more people, but the connection's not the same, you know? I feel like the best people are always going to be the people that you can truly connect with, that you can truly relate to, you know? Like I saw something the other day that says people are so busy regulating their nervous systems, they forgot how to relate. And I think that's a huge thing, especially on social media. If it is an outrage content, it's usually entertainment or infotainment. I like infotainment. I like being able to learn while wouldn't say doom scrolling. I try to avoid doom scrolling as much as possible, but I do try to learn stuff. So when I'm going through, I try to catch tidbits of information that I might be able to apply to my own life or apply to my entrepreneurial dreamscape, as it were. The people that you bring in need to be the type of people that can fulfill your dreams. They're the type of people that have the same dream as you, that have the same purpose as you. They don't even need to be exactly like you. They just have to have the drive to get the bottom line done. And I think once you get that part out of the way, you'll start to see these people. Like, they pop up all the time, and fear is going to be a big factor for everybody. Like, I really do believe that there's not very many people out there that are like, actually, I think there are people that are willing to go for the drive, and then at the same time, they're just not capable of pulling it off, just because they're not situated financially, or they're struggling to get into a home or whatever. But they've got the hustle, right? Like, I think necessity is the mother of invention, right? Like, they say that when you absolutely need something, you'll make it happen. I did the same thing, came out of a crashing real estate economy in Denver, Colorado, ended up moving into the oil patch and working 120 hours a week. Never swung a sledgehammer in my entire life. All of a sudden, that's what I did for a living. And in my head, I remember my first day was like a 19-hour day. And in my head, I was like, I cannot give up. I moved my family away from home. We lost our home in Denver. It's like, I cannot give up. I cannot give up. And man, you'd be surprised what we could accomplish once we just put in the work, put in the drive, like, and be there for each other. I mean, to scale it from something where it's just you, and to just scale that growth into a monstrous machine of efficiency. I mean, the just the thought, man, the dream, the vision to have something that you can see, that you know is going to just grow, and it's going to keep growing as far as people want it to. And I do believe that that's kind of like a huge thing for not only for what I want to do, but what I think that we can all do if we're interested. And why not? I mean, seriously, if you can drag everybody up, a rising tide lifts all ships. If you can do that, why not do it? I don't know. It just seems kind of silly that you wouldn't at least try. What was that? How's that story go? What do you, the guy was trying to save, was it the starfish, right? I've heard it in different ways, but basically he's trying to save all these starfish off the beach, and he keeps tossing them into the water, and there's just thousands of them. He's like, you're not going to save them all. And he's like, well, he goes, why do you keep doing that? He goes, because it's going to matter to at least that one person, or to that one, you know? And I feel like you can't save everybody, but you can try. At that note, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll talk to you next week. Peace.